All right, in this mini lecture, we're going to solve systems of linear equations by the substitution method. So here shown is a system of linear equations. We have 2x minus 3y equals -2, and the other one is 4x plus 4y equals 24. Now, there are three ways that we could solve this. We could solve it graphically. We can do the substitution method, which we're about to show, and by elimination, which will be in another upcoming video. So let's begin with the substitution method. The first thing I'd like to do is take one of these two original equations and solve for any one of the variables. So it's totally up to you. You could take that first equation, 2x minus 3y equals -2, and just solve for x or for y. Or we could take the second equation, 4x plus y equals 24, and solve for x or for y. It's totally your choice. There's no right or wrong way to start this. Myself, I'm going to take the second equation and solve for y, only because all of the other ones have coefficients in front of them. The first equation has a 2 in front of the x and a 3 in front of the y. So this second equation has a 4 in front of the x, but nothing in front of the y, of course, except for the invisible 1. So it won't take too much to solve for y for that second equation. So that's what I'll do. I'll take 4x plus y equals 24 and solve for y. So in order to get y by itself, I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. And notice that I'm subtracting 4x not from the 24, but mainly just from that space, or just subtracting 4x to move the 4x over. So now I get y equals 24 minus 4x. So now we've just solved for one of the variables, which is great. So I'm going to take this y equals 24 minus 4x, and then I'm going to go ahead and substitute it into that other equation that I didn't use. So I didn't use 2x minus 3y equals -2. And I'm going to substitute this y equals 24 minus 4x into it. So what does y equal? 24 minus 4x. So I'm going to plug it in where I see the y. So 2x minus 3, and what is y? Y is 24 minus 4x, or y is equal to 24 minus 4x. So I'll plug that in there, and that equals the -2. It looks like whenever we see something right outside of the parentheses, we're always told to go ahead and distribute. So we have 2x minus negative times positive makes this negative or minus. 3 times the 24 gives us a 72. -3 times a -4x gets us a positive 12x, and that equals -2. All right, after distributing, we need to go ahead and clean it up a bit just by combining like terms, the 2x and the 12x. That gives us a 14x minus 72 equals -2. And now the only variable we see is an x. So that's the variable we'll solve for. We'll get x by itself. So in order to get x by itself, we'll add 72 to both sides. So now we have 14x equals 72 minus the 2 is equal to 70. And then lastly, we're going to go ahead and solve for x. Between 14 and x is multiplication, so we'll do the opposite, which is division. And we'll always divide by whatever's next to the variable. So x is equal to 70 divided by 14. That gets me 5. So I have one of the answers there. And in solving a system of equations, you're always going to end up, well, I shouldn't say always, but most of the time we'll end up with an ordered pair. An ordered pair is just a dot on a graph. And that's why if we solved graphically, we would just go ahead and see where the two lines intersect, and they intersect at a point, a certain dot on the graph. So we're halfway there. So we have x is equal to 5. Now we can take this and plug it in to either one of the two original equations. So let's take a look. Or we could plug it into what we solved for earlier. So we could plug that y equals 5 into that equation, or the second original equation, or even to the one that we just came up with. We manipulated that second original equation to be y equals 24 minus 4x. So let's go ahead and take that one, y equals 24 minus 4x. And I believe that'll get us the value of y. So y equals 24 minus 4x. And what is x? Well, we've solved for x. X is 5. So we're just going to plug it in right there for 5. So y is equal to 24 minus 4. Instead of writing x, I substitute my 5. Y equals 24 minus 20. And now that leaves us with y equals 24 minus 20 is 4. So I have my other half. So as I stated, the answer is written as an ordered pair. And as you know, an ordered pair is in parentheses with a comma between the two values. Your x comes first and then your y. So our answer is 5, 4. Let's go ahead and box that in as the solution to that system of linear equations. And this was solving a system of linear equations by substitution method. Tune into the next video that we'll have in the playlist, and it'll be solving a system by elimination method, a different method. So please, if you enjoyed this and it helped you, please hit the like button. Feel free to share to whom or wherever you need to, and subscribe for new videos that come out. Thanks and have a great one.